Hello and welcome back to the Princess K Talk Show. And your host is Princess Kingsman. And this show talks about relationships, love, live, acting, script writing, memos, acting memos, anything and everything that has to do with entertainment. We discuss it here on this show. Now, I have written a short monologue. It's about strength, having strength every day, and it's a very short piece, and it just defines what strength means to me. And everybody has their own definition of strength and how they are able to be strong every day, regardless of how they feel or what the situation or the circumstances they have surrounding them. So this is my definition of strength, okay? I won't take much of your time today, so I am not blabbing again. All right, so you talk about strength like it's a physical thing, like I can just go to the gym and work out and I'll be fine. Let me tell you something. Strength isn't physical, neither does it have anything to do with flesh or bones. Strength is of the mind. It's knowing that you need something and denying yourself of it every single day. Whether it's good for you or it's bad for you, you deny yourself. Strength has a lot to do with discipline. Though it's hard at the moment on your flesh and your feelings, but in the long run, it'll make you stronger and tougher. Let me tell you the definition of strength. Number one, it's the state or the quality of being physically or mentally strong. Two, the ability to withstand or to exert great force, stress, or pressure. Three, it's something that's being regarded as being beneficial or a source of power. Now, let me ask you this one question. What does strength mean to you? Strength means to me being mentally strong, day in, day out. My scars are there to remind me that one time life tried to break me down, lying to me, making me feel like a weakling. Life is going to happen. You can't change it, you can't stop it, and you can't pause it. Everybody goes through something, even if you don't want to admit it. I get up every single day thinking that I have to be strong. I have to get up and face the day, regardless of how I feel, because I am not my feelings, and I am certainly not my emotions. I tell myself every morning, every day, that I am stronger than my emotions, stronger than my feelings, and stronger than my problems. Thank you. So, strength to me is basically having that mental decision. It's a mind thing. And I grew up around a lot of mentally strong people. And it has taught me, it's only recently, probably 3 years ago, that it has taught me that strength has nothing to do with muscular and working out and being strong fleshly or bodily. It has a lot to do with your mind and your thoughts, choosing your thoughts every day. And to be honest, if you allow thoughts to break you down, then I can tell you the enemy has won already. Because as the saying goes, the mind is the battlefield. And that is where the enemy goes to try and break you down. And the most time where the enemy attacks you is when you're weak. Because he knows that when you're weak, you can't fight back as when you are strong. But newsflash, I find strength in my weaknesses. When I am weak, that's when I know I'm actually strong. because the enemy tries to turn you around, turn your mind around upside down, making you feel like, oh, you're weak because of this, because of that. No, 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 no. You see, when you are weak is when you actually know yourself. That's when you know what you're capable of. And he will never attack you when you're strong, because he knows that you're going to fight back with the word of God, with praise worship, with anything you can find to fight back. And it's a tactic of the enemy. And especially when you're tired, that's why you need to watch. When you're tired and exhausted, you need to be very careful. And at the same time, you know, sometimes I go to bed at night and, you know, I can't sleep, and, you know, my eyes are just wide open. That's the best time to put a motivational speaking, or like I listen to Joyce Meyer and Joel Osteen at that particular time, because your mind will wander. You will daydream. You'll just wonder. It'll take you to places you'll be thinking, what? Did I just think that? You know, so you need to be very careful when it comes to your thoughts, because it has a lot to do with your strengths. And it's not every thought that falls in your mind that is your thought. You don't have to think everything that falls into your mind. You can choose to push it aside. Like, a quick example I will give is that when in my mind and when a thought falls inside, I picture a thought as a person, okay? And I have a room in my mind where there's 2 doors, okay? And that room is that whatever thought falls in as a human, and whether it's thoughts of depression, thoughts of shame, thoughts of self-guilt, thoughts of anything, anger, frustration, whatever it is, I just push it behind the door. I push it and I lock it. And once you have that mechanism of doing that, then it's not like the enemy is not going to attack you in your thoughts. He will. But you have to be self-aware. You have to be observant in that kind of area, because if you're not observant, you find out that when thoughts of depression set in the next couple of minutes to an hour, you start feeling down. And then you be thinking, why am I down? Pay attention to what you're thinking about. Pay attention to what you're allowing your mind to feed on. And where the mind goes, the man follows. So you really, I cannot stress this enough, you really have to try everything possible in your power that you know, because everybody has different ways of handling weaknesses and trials and tribulations and stress and pressure. So you have to find what works for you. Not what works for me, not what works for your friend, what works for you to get that strength up. And when you need encouragement, I encourage myself in the Lord, and I find other things that I have to encourage myself, because people are not always going to be there to encourage you. So you have to do it yourself. And that's where strength of the mind comes in. Okay, so that's all I have to say for today. I've already run over the time again. I'm sorry. Once I start talking, it's so hard to switch up, so I have to apologize for that. So next week I will talk more on thoughts and how it affects us. I will go into more details and more points about it. So thank you ever so much for listening. Do subscribe to my channel. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but the main goal is that the message is passed across. So thank you so much for listening. If you do subscribe and you want to be getting notifications, just press the little bell at the bottom to give you notifications of when I post. So do have a blissful day, and I love you always. Goodbye.